This is kind of turning into a therapy session and I was not expecting that, but yet here we are. Hello everybody, my name is Sara. Welcome back. Today I'm very excited because I'm coming at you with a video all about my reading goals for 2021. Is it too early to film this video? I honestly have no idea and I don't really care because I'm really excited to be talking about all of this with all of you. And as we start going into this video and into those goals, you'll slowly realize that basically today I'm going to be talking about all of the things that I don't want to do reading wise in 2021. So basically normally when people do those kind of videos, they talk about like some series they want to read, some books they want to read, what they're going to set their Goodreads reading goal towards. That sentence didn't make any sense. Like what their Goodreads reading challenge is going to be, what readathons they want to partake in, all of that kind of stuff. And basically today I'm gonna be doing the exact opposite. So I feel like what I want to say is actually going to become clearer as I start actually talking about what I want to talk about in this video. So anyway, let's just get right into it. So last year I decided to not set myself a reading challenge on Goodreads for 2020. I don't know if you remember, but basically I thought that if I didn't set myself a challenge, I would read a little bit less and focus more on the books that I was reading instead of focusing on reading as much as I could. And that absolutely did not work. And I feel like it's in part because of 2020 as a year in and of itself, because this year it came straight from hell. I think we can all agree about that. And one of my coping mechanisms in life is that I just read to escape reality. So obviously I read so much. I think I've never read as many books in my life. I think that as of now, as I'm filming this video, I have read like around 125 books. Actually, let me check. That is exactly how many books I've read. I have read 125 books in 2020. And I thought that not setting a challenge for myself would make me read less. How innocent. How sweet and naive. So basically what I did is that on January 1st I set up my Goodreads challenge as one book because I still wanted to keep track of how many books I was reading even if I didn't like actually set up a challenge for myself. And yeah, that didn't change anything. It really did not. I think that, you know, sometimes I would go on the little like reading challenge thing on Goodreads and see and be like, oh, I've read like 30 books so far this year, and then the pandemic happened and then 30 turned into 50, that turned into 70, that turned into 100, and then here we are. And honestly, not like half of them were memorable because I read so many books because I just didn't want to think about the state of the world that I don't remember like half of them, which is very, very sad. But you know, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do to change it. But I have to say though that since the fall, I feel like maybe like September, October, I started to really slow down my pace in reading, which is so much better because now I actually remember the books that I read. What a concept. And I also enjoyed so many more books, I feel like, in the latest part of the year than at the beginning because I just picked the books that I was really excited about. So yeah, all is well that ends well. But let's just say that definitely not setting up a Goodreads challenge didn't change anything. But is that still what I'm going to do for 2021 as well? Yes, it is. First of all, I couldn't really tell you how many books I'm planning to read in 2021 because one of my main goal, and actually like the main goal of this entire thing, of this entire video, is that I want to read whatever the freaking frack I want in 2021. I don't want to put any expectations on myself. I don't want to like think too long about the books that I want to read or why I want to read them or whatever. I just want to pick up whatever I'm feeling and just read it. So yeah, I don't want to think about a number. I don't want to be like, oh my god, I haven't read enough books already, I need to like keep up my game or whatever of that kind of crap, which is very strange for me because setting up my Goodreads reading goal used to be like the first thing that I did on January 1st. I don't even think that I'm going to set it up at 1 next year because I don't even want to keep track of this number. I don't even want to know. I want to get at the end of 2021 and it's going to be a surprise, which Might sound really weird, but yeah, I'm going to keep track of it obviously in my reading journal because I love to do this like kind of spread with a whole big library and just all of the books like written down. I really love doing that, but I'm not going to count them. I'm just going to take it as it goes. Okay, moving on. This video is going to be so rambly and so ridiculous. I can already feel editing Sarah giving me so many glares right now. But anyway, the second goal that I want to talk about is something that is very shocking to me as a very organized reader, and that is that I don't want to make TBRs in 2021. I know, shocking, gasp, clutching all of our pearls. If you know me, you know that TBRs are like 25% of my personality. I love to plan the books that I'm going to read in a certain month. I love to make lists. I love to check those lists. I just love everything about that. But I need to face the truth that actually right now as I'm speaking, TBRs are not really working for me anymore. Either I pick some books and I'm really excited at the beginning of the month and then I lose my interest over those titles and then I read other titles and I feel bad for not completing my TBR, or I stick to it and it makes me miserable because I want to read other things. And that is just who I am as a person, and I know that it sounds completely stupid and ridiculous, and obviously I'm not like crying over my TBR, it's nothing as dramatic as that, but I am just someone who always has very strict expectations towards her own self, and honestly that needs to change. And if I can change it with something as dumb as picking the books that I plan to read, then I just need to do it because it's just so easy, and I need to stop being such a control freak over myself. This is kind of turning into a therapy session and I was not expecting that, but yet here we are. So yeah, no TBRs for me in 2021. This is honestly so wild. Obviously I'm still going to be doing wrap-ups because I want to talk about the books that I've read because that's one of my favorite parts of BookTube. It's kind of like the whole point of this entire thing. So yeah, I'm still going to be doing wrap-ups. I might do seasonal TBRs, like if there are a couple of books that I'm planning to read in the next like couple of months or whatever, I might do that. But am I going to force myself to stick to them? Absolutely not, because no one should do that. It's so stupid. And yeah, it only took me like a whole year to realize it, but you know, it's fine, I'm coping so fine. And obviously I'm also going to keep on reading all of the books that we're going to be reading over at the TWOCC book club, because that is just something that really has brought me so much joy in 2020, really like reading all of those books with those amazing people like Mary, Hilary, Sofia. I love you all so much if you're watching this video. And yeah, it's just, the TWOCC book club is definitely one of the only best things that happened to my life in 2020. So obviously I'm going to keep on going with it in 2021, and I'm so excited for all of the books that we're going to be reading and all of the things that we're going to plan, because it's always just such a blast to read with all of those wonderful ladies and all of you who join us every month. So yeah. So now that I've talked about, you know, different things that I'm not going to do, I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I want to do in 2021 on my channel. So this is probably going to be more interesting for all of you. And last year I made a list of 5 standalones and 5 series that I wanted to read in 2020, and I kind of, you know, played around with the idea of doing that again, but then I ultimately decided against it, because while I ended up reading the 5 standalones that I had picked, and I did not end up really enjoying most of them, but that's another discussion. When it came to the series, I just kept on changing my mind about the series that I wanted to read, and it was just a little bit too ambitious. So I ended up reading some of them, like most of them, but then some of them I decided to not read anymore, and some of them I still want to read, but I still haven't picked up. Truth which. So instead, in 2021, in the spirit of just leaving TBRs behind and not caring about TBRs anymore, I have decided to just pick 2 series that I've been really meaning to read for a long time. And I want to do kind of like the same thing that I did with The Lord of the Rings, which is just to vlog by experience. Like each book I'm going to be doing a vlog, because I think that a lot of people really enjoy those videos and I really loved making them. So I definitely want to do more. So the first series that I want to read in 2021 is a series that I've been meaning to read for like, I think 2 years at least at this point, maybe 3. I finally feel like it's time. it's finally time for me to read The Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. I have heard so many people rave about the Stormlight Archive series. I feel like this is a series that is so iconic in the fantasy genre, and so I was sitting down the other day thinking to myself, and I was like, you know what? This finally feels right. Like, it is the time. It's time for me to finally read the series, and I'm actually planning to maybe reread Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, which is one of my favorite series of all time. I love it so much, and I just want to be in this world and with those characters again. So what will probably happen is that I'm going to start rereading Mistborn first, and then I'm going to finally dive into the series, and all of those books are so big. They're like over 1,000 pages, like each of them, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's gonna be a wild ride, and I'm so excited to vlog my experience of reading those books, because I feel like Brandon Sanderson's books are really books that suck you in, and they're just such a huge epic adventure, and I feel like, you know, filming my experience going through that is going to be so much fun. So yeah, this is the first series that I'm planning to read in 2021. I'm so excited to read it because I've heard so many incredible things about it, and oh my god, I feel like it's going to be so good, and yeah, I can't wait to share all of my thoughts about this series with all of you. And then the second series that I want to read in 2021 and vlog my experience is going to be the Royal Assassin series by Robin Hobb. As you may already know, Mary from Mary Monk Stories actually gifted me the first book, Royal Assassin, which I'm just so happy and excited about. Thank you again so much, Mary. I'm so happy that you got me this. And yeah, this is also a series that I've been thinking about reading for a couple of months now, maybe a year, and I just think that it's going to be just so much fun, and it's once again a very iconic series into the fantasy genre, and I know much more about this one than about the Stormlight Archive. I have absolutely no idea what the plot of the Stormlight Archive is, but this one just sounds so great. We follow Fitz, who is an assassin, and we follow him throughout his childhood and training and adulthood and all of his quests, and apparently Robin Hobb is just such a good author. And yeah, I'm just really excited to finally read this series and just vlog my experience, because I think it's going to be so interesting and so fun to do, and hopefully to watch for all of you. So yeah, that is my second goal. Okay, so I think that I've said everything that I was planning to say in this video. I know that this might not be the video that you were expecting, because I mainly talked about the things that I don't want to do instead of the things that I actually want to do. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that 2021 is the year where I read just basically whatever the fuck I want, and it's going to be so grand, and I cannot wait. Let me know down below if you have any reading goals, or if you're planning to, you know, read certain specific books or series and stuff like that, because even if I'm putting very low expectations on myself, I always love to hear about other people's plans, because I think that's fascinating. But anyway, I hope that you really enjoyed this super rambly and weird video. If you did, definitely don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!